the game. You don't play to just play. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. Can't wait. Let's go.
Hello, what is up, y'all? What is up? It's me, it's Keenan. We're back. We're in the building. It's another live stream of the Hoop Dreams and the TD Queens. And as always, I got my co-host, Jury. What is going on today, man? How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Been busy, but how about you?
No complaints over here. You know, it's a nice mild day in Pennsylvania. It's not freezing cold. It's not too hot. It was pretty good today. So I mean,
We got 60.
But we are live on the Sports Empire Network, and as long as and it's also Roku TV over there in the Northeast streaming services. So make sure y'all subscribe over there to the channel to see us live on Roku TV right now. We do got a lot of stuff to talk about today. But first, before we get into anything else, I got a gripe with one certain offensive coordinator in Detroit and one Ben Johnson. So apparently Ben Johnson went to take a look at the head coaching job of Washington. Come to find out, the reason why he didn't go to Washington is because they're basketball guys. They don't know what they're doing. What that got to do with the price of tea in China, y'all? What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Just because Josh Harris owns the 76ers and Magic is, Magic Johnson. Of course, legendary, all-time Laker great, Hall of Famer. So what? He knows basketball, but Magic also has a stake with the Lakers, the Sparks, the Dodgers, and the Commanders. So what? Josh Harris owns the Sixers, owns the Commanders, and he owns the New Jersey Devils, which is a hockey team. These are businessmen. Obviously, they wouldn't have wanted to get the Commanders for a reason if they didn't want to get into football. How do you know they're not football guys? How do you know they're not looking for the right person for their team? You know what? They got Dan Quinn instead. They said forget you. But how do you know it wasn't Ben Johnson? You just saying, oh, they're basketball guys. Well, how do you know Ben Johnson didn't fit into their scheme? Like, I didn't like that. When I seen that tweet, I didn't like it at all. Your thoughts about Ben Johnson saying, oh, they're basketball guys?
Learn when to shut up. I think that's going to be a theme of today. Learn when to shut up. Because it's like, they're the owners, right? So their job is to sell tickets, make it marketable, and put a quality product on the field. And if they're smart enough, they would hire the football guys, the right ones, so that they could get everything situated. They're not going to be I don't think they would be meddling like somebody down in Dallas, but they're gonna be owners, but they're not gonna be like that. So it's like what team they own and what they've done and being in basketball for so long has absolutely nothing to do with what he would be asked to do as the head coach of the Washington Commanders. Absolutely nothing. You're comparing apples to grapes here. You feel like because the owners bought the team with their background that they don't know what they're doing, that they're not going to hire the right people, they're not going to put the right pieces in place. You think they're stupid because they haven't gotten what they're gotten by being stupid. Like, don't play yourself, Mr. Johnson, because you look real goofy.
Just take Josh Harris for a second. 76ers. Organizational wise, it brings in money. Haven't been to a championship in a minute, but it makes some money. The New Jersey Devils. I forget when he brought the New Jersey Devils, but now he quadrupled their value of the New Jersey Devils. They went to the playoffs. They're a young hockey team. What? I mean, what's not business savvy about that? Forget the basketball guys. They going to turn the organization around. I believe Josh Harris and Magic Johnson is going to turn the Commanders around. I'm not saying they're Super Bowl, but they're going to get it together. And them getting Dan Quinn, we all know Dan Quinn's background, but still, he's a respectable coach. Dan Quinn is.
He'll turn that culture around.
defensive minded as well. We all know that Washington's defense needs some help. So forget what he did in Atlanta when he went to the Super Bowl and choked against the Patriots. That was, I believe, that was more of Kyle Shanahan, but he could have overruled some of that. They got too conservative, and the defense let up. So you can say it was a mixture of both. But we all know how Dan Quinn is. He's I believe he's the right person in Washington that can get things done, turn things around defensively, offensively as well. But that was my rant this today. I don't want to take too much of the time because we do got a lot to get over. But Ben Johnson, I just had to put you on blast. Come on, dude. Because they're basketball guys, just say you wanted to stay in Detroit. That's all you had to say. You know what? Thank
And
you for
be
the
quiet.
opportunity. But I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna go back to Detroit. But I appreciate it. Come on now. Now I hope Washington plays them and they lose and they win. That would be hilarious. But that would be funny. But sticking in the NFL, we got the latest coaching hires, and of course, every coaching position has been filled. Not Dan Campbell, Dan Quinn was the last one to go to Washington. We got Raheem Morris over in Atlanta. Um, so all the coaching hires are taken care of.
Cool.
Out of the ones that got hired, who do you think will turn their season around? Out of the coach, out of the teams who just got new coaches.
I'm not trying to be a homer here, but my team has done a pretty good job with our coaches so far. Brian Callahan, you get him from Cincinnati, and it's not just because he worked with Joe Burrow. He's coordinated everything to do with that offense. So we're gonna have a more modernized offense. We might even bring back Derek because he would want Derek there to run that to help with that offense, and Levis to help develop him. He brought in his dad from Cleveland, Mr. Bill Callahan himself. You know that is going to work wonders with my offensive line. You know it was horrible. I had to deal with. I was suffering from Andre Dillard mania because he induced tantrums. It was horrible, but my offensive line should improve, and we'll have a high draft pick. Use that on the lineman. And we got a pretty decent wide receivers coach. Now, the biggest question for us was Treylon Burks not being able to see the field as much. Quite frankly, I'm over him. Trade him for a pack of crackers and 50 cents. Get off my team. And then
Wait. Did you say a pack of crackers and 50 cents?
Yes. I'm tired. Outside of DeAndre Hopkins and the potential of Treylon Burks, you got Chris Moore and a bag of grass. So my wide receivers coach, you got your work cut out for you. But then we ended up getting Denard Wilson, the DB's coach from the Ravens, as my defensive coordinator. And I love what that does for the people on my defense. My safeties, my corners, because they need help. I think he's going to do fine with my defense.
Eagles should have picked him over Desai, but we're not going to talk about that.
So I think I love what my team can do. It just revolves around what they do at quarterback. But yeah, I feel like my team is in the best position to turn it around. Or Atlanta, if I'm being honest. If they figure out the quarterback situation.
Out of the coaching staff that we did see, we seen, of course, Antonio Pierce take that interim title off, and he's head coach. Definitely, he's gonna turn that organization around. Already he has Marvin Lewis as assistant head coach. We all know Marvin Lewis coached the Bengals for a long time. He's good football knowledge there. Did have Clinton Kingsbury, but Cliff decided to back out. We don't know why, but he decided to back out. So
I got a word about that.
He doesn't have an OC yet. I forget who his defense. Did he do a defensive coordinator? I forget who he is though. It's possible that Kingsbury could go to Washington, but Eric Bieniemy still don't got no job. I wouldn't be surprised if Antonio calls him and say, "Hey, you want to be my OC for the Raiders?" That'd be crazy. Him
I'd
being
love
in the
it.
same division as Kansas City, that would be crazy. But why not? Give him a call.
I love
Um,
it.
Jared Mayo going to the Patriots. That he was the next in line. He was Bill's successor. We all knew he was going to get that gig. Again, Dan Quinn, he left the Cowboys to get another coaching job in the division. That's the crazy part. He stayed in the division to go to the rival team. So he'll do wonders with that Washington defense. Again, you talked about your Titans with Brian Callahan. Also, Raheem Morris out in Atlanta. Hopefully, get a quarterback in there because his team is not bad. Atlanta is just a quarterback away from possibly going to the playoffs or further.
Either
Um,
get Fields or Wilson.
then you got Dave Canellis from for Carolina Panthers. Um, I just hope and pray he's not a one and done. And then
Because David Tech will make that team.
Mike McDonald with the Seahawks. That was a good pickup. He was the DC from DC from
The Ravens.
Ravens. So that's good there. Work with that defense. And then, of course, the number one recruiting hire, Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers. I think Jim is going to do wonders with the Chargers. He already got his QB there and Justin Herbert. He might even turn Quentin Johnson around. Blake Corum said he would do anything in his power to possibly work with Harbaugh again. So watch out in the second round. Blake Corum could possibly go to the Chargers because Eckler, they don't know what they're going to do with Eckler. And I think it's time on from Eckler. So I can't wait to see what Harbaugh does with the Chargers. That's going to be crazy. But Adam, appreciate you in the chat. Sergeant, as always. Damien said nobody's getting Fields. I don't think Fields is going anywhere either. I think he's going to stay. I think he's staying in Detroit. I mean Chicago. Because it'd be stupid to trade him.
Exactly.
Now, whoever wants to entertain a number one pick, if y'all do trade the number one pick, you can't go no further than 4. Because we already know Washington and New England is taking a QB. So if you want to trade one of them two to get trade up, and then possibly Chicago could take Marvin at 2 or 3, that's fine. But you go any lower than that, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to be on the board. 5 is the Chargers, and the Chargers might take Brock Bowers. One of the good tight end from Georgia. They haven't had a tight end since Antonio Gates. So they should take Bowers there. But they can't go no more than 5. Ern wants the Raiders to get Fields. The Bears ain't listening to y'all. Because number one, who are y'all offering the Bears? I'll wait. Y'all gonna give up Devontae Adams? Y'all giving up Max Crosby? Y'all don't have nobody to offer the Bears.
Oh, the Raiders. Oh.
Y'all don't have nobody to offer them. So that's a hope and a dream. I didn't mean to kill it, Ern, but y'all not getting Fields. But are you shocked that Mike Vrabel and Belichick don't have a job right now?
No. I mean, with Belichick, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, you gotta do more than that. Sorry.
I'm very surprised with Belichick. Well, I'm not surprised with Belichick. Now, Vrabel, I am. But with these defensive-minded head coaches, you got to learn, and it's for both of these two, that you can't be stubborn. And you got to venture outside of the organization sometimes and put the pieces together to build a successful team. Belichick and Vrabel, because you fall off the same tree. So they should, like, I feel like, what I said, next year there should be some head coaching vacancies. They might get a defensive coordinator spot. But Dallas will probably be looking for a head coach next year. Depending on what's going on in Philadelphia, they might be looking for a head coach next year. And if Saleh in New York don't get it together, his butt gonna be on the hot seat next.
McDermott, if they fall out the playoffs again, McDermott's gone.
Yep.
The Giants, I can see the Giants getting a new coach.
They don't need to blame the hot mess that is on Brian Dable. The Giants were a mess when he got there. They didn't build that team right, and you gave him a bag of potatoes as a quarterback. Like, come on. And you paid him 100 and something. You paid him whatever the heck they paid him.
You know, it's sad when you got defensive players saying you should have paid Saquon over him.
Yeah. The Giants make a...
Of course, Damian said he don't see Harbaugh changing. The Chargers, don't get me wrong, it's a good head coach, but the Chargers front office needs to change. Okay, so they got rid of Tom Telesco.
They got a new GM.
They got a new GM. They got a new head coach. They changed the front office. So what are you talking about? Front office has changed. And the Harbaugh, you cannot say he's not a championship-minded coach. Because one, mind you, what he did with Stanford and Andrew Luck, he left Stanford. He went to the 49ers. What happened? He went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers. Even though he didn't win it, but he went to the Super Bowl. Trust me, Harbaugh's going to change the culture. He's going to change it.
What's going to be interesting is what that team is going to look like because they ain't got no cap money. They ain't got no money. They broke.
Right. And they got the DC from Michigan. So I know their defense is going to be on point. So Chargers fans should be excited. It looks like word is going around Greg Roman might be the OC, but we'll see. Nothing is official yet. Question: Lamar Jackson, will he be the best QB to not win a ring?
He could be. If he works on his accuracy, he could be. But considering that there's a whole lot that haven't won, good ones that haven't won, I'd have Lamar over Vic. I'd have Lamar over quite a few of them, but he could go down there. He could. But not like the people like Dan Marino, no. They're untouchable. But as far as like people like Michael Vick, Lamar's better than Cam. Cam wouldn't like that, but it is what it is.
I think Lamar. I think he will get a ring. What's going to happen is it's not going to be with Baltimore. I think once his ship has sailed with Baltimore, I think he moves on. I think it's possible he can get a ring somewhere else. Once Lamar works on a few things, I think Lamar will be okay. I think he'll get a ring. But this is the Lamar we wanted to see throughout the whole season. He played the whole season healthy. He wasn't injury prone. He played every game except I think the last one. You know, they was number one seed to say sat him down, but he was healthy. I mean, he didn't run when needed. He's still going to use his legs, of course. Throwing to the receivers, that defense was amazing. It just they couldn't get the job done. They just couldn't get the job done. So do I think
the defense carried them?
Right. So do I think Lamar will be a good QB without a ring? I think he will get a ring, just not with Baltimore. I don't think it's going to happen. What's going on, G? I don't think he'll get a ring with Baltimore.
They're not gonna move off of Harbaugh, and that's the problem. But don't nobody want to admit that.
Again, like I said, we moving right along because we got a lot to talk about. Brock Purdy. We all know what Cam Newton said about Brock Purdy. He's a game changer, which is not bad to be a game changer. But do you think he'll silence the critics if he wins the Super Bowl? Does Brock Purdy silence all the critics?
Yes, and I want Cam to shut the hell up too, because the next time you talk about he's the 10th best player on their team, like a hater, because you got drafted to an organization that was a hot mess, and they didn't give you the pieces. And Brock Purdy has the pieces around him to be successful. You sound jealous. It don't look good on you, Cam. And you need to pipe that down because he's getting on my nerve with how bad he run his mouth. But yes, I do believe that if he were to win, he would silence these critics, because all season is, even when he went on that little slide and he hasn't looked great, what he's done throughout these playoffs should shut them up themselves. But it doesn't matter if he was telling the truth. To sit here and say that on the Super Bowl team that the quarterback is the 10th best best player, which is not true. I'll give him anywhere between 5 and 7, which is still pretty ding dang on good because he doesn't need to be the best player because of how they built it.
I know one
Yes,
thing. He better than Garoppolo.
exactly.
He better than
And what
Jimmy G.
team paid him? And what team paid Garoppolo? The Raiders. Like, so yeah, he should silence the critics. He's a very good quarterback.
I don't think he's a 10th player. Of course, CMC's number one. Debo Samuels, Kittles. If you want to go, Trent Williams,
And then
Fred
Brock.
Warner. He's not the 10th. He's up there. I don't say he's number 10. I think he's top 7 on that team.
Yes. So to sit here and say that is just some flat out hater stuff.
It definitely is, but it's not bad being a game manager. So what you can manage the game as long as you don't win it. But if you notice, in the Green Bay game, Brock Purdy came from behind and was through some clutch throws in the clutch in tight spaces for this team to win. Same thing against the Lions. Came back in the second half and completely changed that whole game. Everybody thought the game was over when the Lions was up 24-7. But San Fran and Brock said, hold up.
Not like that.
We not going out like that. So if Brock does it again, I mean, it's Kansas City. I know it's Kansas City and Mahomes, and you can't bet on Patrick Mahomes because we've done it here. I've done it myself. I said Mahomes wasn't gonna make it. You proved everybody wrong, and is in the Super Bowl once again. So I'm not gonna bet on Mahomes. I think this Super Bowl will be actually pretty good. They actually got San Fran a 2-point favorites, but we're gonna go into our picks and predictions when we get to the Super Bowl. But I think Purdy's already proven his, he's Mr. Irrelevant. Oh, he can't play this, he can't play that. But he went out there and did his job. He has players around him. You got one of the best running backs in the world. Well, you don't have to do much when you got one of the best running backs in the world on your team. And Christian McCaffrey. This was the best Christian McCaffrey we've seen since he's been in the league. He hasn't been hurt.
MVP finalist for a reason.
He hasn't been hurt or anything. Brock Purdy will make plays. He's making plays, and he's in the Super Bowl because why? He makes plays. Point blank, period. Purdy's not a game changer. I didn't say nothing about a game changer. He's doing his job. That's what he's doing. He's doing his job.
At a very high level right now.
Game manager QB without CMC, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, he's nothing. Just like Lamar isn't anything without the defense, OBJ, and Mark Andrews. Mind you, Mark Andrews was out of game. He didn't have Mark Andrews throughout the whole season. He got hurt. OBJ was nowhere to be found in the AFC Championship game. Nowhere to be found. So you can't say OBJ.
$15 million to touchdown dance and pom-pom wave and strut his stuff in pregame so we can see him.
I think Brock's a really good QB, but there's 8 other players that are better in my opinion. Look, respect your opinion. Ain't your opinion, your opinion. Ain't nobody pooping on it. What's going on, Kyle? But we'll see what he does on next weekend. But I'm just saying, if he wins the Super Bowl, I don't want to hear nothing. Don't want to hear nothing.
Especially if they got to come from behind to do it.
He's an outside target with a QB that can't throw outside. Robert Saleh read this story and laughed. How is he threatening to take his coach's phones? Where they do that at? Over
his coaches?
Yes. He's threatening to take the coach's phones because whoever leaked, it was some information. I don't know if it was about Aaron Rodgers or something got leaked. And he's talking about who did it? Like you in an interrogation room. Oh, give me all your phones. You're not the FBI, bro. You don't got no warrant for these phones to be confiscated. Like, come on, Robert.
He's a grown-ass man. You're not confiscating nothing.
We got to do better. We got to do better than this. don't be butthurt because your organization put all their eggs in the basket with one Aaron Rodgers and he gets hurt on the fourth play of the first opening game. And then you want to defend Zach Wilson. You know good and dang going well Zach Wilson wasn't your answer. I think he'll be out in New York next. I believe it so too. And then again, if Aaron Rodgers can't save him, Robert Saleh's going. But your thoughts on him trying to confiscate coaches' phones?
What is this? High school? Like, there is different ways to do things and manage your coaching staff and to manage how things get out and whatnot than to resort to stupid little itty-bitty kid toddler like tactics like this. This is ticky-tack, and it makes the whole organization look bad. I've already had my questions about how he's really controlling that locker room with those personalities and the youth and inexperience on that team at sometimes. But the fact that you're resorting to, I'm going to take your phone and da-da-da-da-da, shows how little control that you really have. Like, don't treat your coaches like children. They are grown men with kids and families. So what are you taking their phone for? This is not high school. You're not a teacher. You're a coach. And even when I was in high school, we wasn't doing that, taking phones and stuff. None of that. So you look goofy.
It's just crazy. Anthony Weaver is the new defensive coordinator for the Dolphins.
Ravens losing all their goddamn coaches. God,
Leslie
Lord.
Frazier is the assistant coach for the Seahawks. That was a good move. The Saints is bringing on Kubiak as the OC over there with the Saints. So, that's definitely good for them over there. And Cliff Kingsbury is going to be up for the commander job, which is weird. Don't know why he decided to back out.
He looks like a weasel.
So it said until breakdown and contract talk ended. Oh, so was it a contract issue? Was it money?
It was money.
It could have been a money issue. I'm not sure, but
Mark Davis is paying 3 head coaches to not coach that team.
This is this is true. Washington officially hired Dan Quinn as his head coach. Eric Bieniemy has 1 year left on his contract as the Commanders' offensive coordinator, but Washington has a list of coaches interested in that position. Is that such a bad look? Makes organization look weak?
Yes.
I agree. Definitely agree. What's going on, Daniel? Definitely agree.
Now I can call them Aaron Rodgers puppets.
It's bad when you got Aaron Rodgers in the ticket office trying to get Jets to buy season tickets. He was on the phones. trying to get people to buy season tickets.
Aaron Rodgers puppets.
But the Pro Bowl is tonight, I believe, is the NFC versus the AFC. I did catch a little bit of the skills competition. Like, I like how they do this Pro Bowl now. I get it's flag football because you can't really tackle nobody when they played before. So I mean, this is fun. Flag football, all the skills and stuff. So I dig it. With that, so that's cool what they're doing. That's tonight. If y'all want to, I believe, take us tomorrow. If y'all want to take a look at that. But before we get into some NBA, because we got some stuff to talk about with the NBA too, we're gonna take our little break. But y'all come on back. We talk some hoops next. Stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? It's Control Simpson with Wire to Wire Sports Podcast, where we're going to cover all things breaking news, sports related. We're going to preview games, and we're also going to give you our reaction to games that have happened before. You can catch us on Wednesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And if you miss us there, no worries. You can also catch us on Roku with Northeast Streaming Sports Productions from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Hey, and listen, if you're not into all sports and just NFL, we have Sideline to Sideline. That's on Thursday nights from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. We'll break down the NFL week, the Thursday night game, and we'll preview all NFL action.
And if you're like me and college football is your fix, tune in every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Coast to Coast College Football pregame show. We'll review the previous week's action, the day's biggest games. We'll give you our pick-ems, and we'll even give you some teams that are on upset alert.
And if you don't catch us live, you can download us on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your podcast. We do also have a YouTube station, Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
And again, now that was Wire to Wire right here, Wednesday night, 7 to 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, Sports Empire Network, and also catch them on the Roku side as well. But we about to get into some hoops. We got some breakdowns. We got Zach LaVine is out for the season. He got to get foot surgery. So he will be out. Sixers is losing to Ben Simmons' ass. That's great.
Oh my God.
Yes, that's great. 76 to 53. I cannot. But anyway, LaVine's out for the year. Embiid, we found out that he torn his meniscus. They don't know a plan yet. Is he going to not get surgery? Going to get surgery? But he hurt his meniscus. So that's what's going on there. But speaking of Embiid, we're going to talk there first. Again, he tore his meniscus. He hit the 70 points. He passed Wilt Chamberlain in Sixers history of scoring 70 points. Now, if Embiid does need surgery, he don't need surgery. Should the Sixers sit him out until the playoffs?
Yes. Like, bump the MVP. It's time for the Sixers to really get past the second round of the playoffs. Bump the MVP. He needs to be 100% for the playoffs. Because if he's not, that reduces your chances of getting to where you're supposed to get to by a lot. Even though you could say Boston is still going to be the favorite and Milwaukee don't play no defense. So there's that. So that's a mess in Milwaukee right now. But it's time for them to make a jump. And risking him doing something even worse by playing him is going to make the whole organization look goofy. Sit him until the playoffs. Shut him down to the playoffs. Make sure he's 100% completely healthy as can be. I do think the Knicks are a dark horse.
I definitely agree. Joel, sit your behind down. I didn't like it when he went in the back in the game with 59 points. Why? Go sit down. Why are we doing this? And then it was like, oh, well, this is what I think will happen. Because everybody was talking about how he didn't play in Denver. So he sat out the Portland game and then he came back to Golden State game, and that's when he really hurt it. Like, this man couldn't jump or anything, but he wanted to go out there because he was catching all this heat. Oh, well, you know, he can't play in Denver. I don't know what it is about Denver. He don't want to play in Denver, but he catches Jokic in Philly all the time. He just don't want to go to Denver. I don't know. He hasn't played in Denver since 2019. I don't know what his issue is with Denver, but he was going to play in Denver, but they sat him. And the Sixers got fined $75K for it.
That's what they get.
Pro Bowl is tomorrow. I'm not sure what channel. I think it comes on early, like 3 o'clock or something like that. I would tell you this: the Knicks are a dark horse in the East, and B shouldn't even be a starter at all. Banchero is not. Why shouldn't he be a starter, Damian? Are you not going to let Damian get my?
Get off the
Should
bottom.
not be a starter. Did you see the numbers Embiid was doing? Do you see the numbers Embiid was doing? Shouldn't have been a starter. This man was MVP before he got hurt. I digress. Yes, he's on something. He's on something cool. I don't know what he's doing, but it's clearly not. It's clearly not.
Get off
it's clearly drugs. It's clearly.
Get off it.
Stay off the weed. Anyway, speaking of All-Star, great segue there. Thank you. We can segue into that. The All-Star game is going back to East and West. Thank you, God. We're gonna go through the rosters, see who got snubbed, see who shouldn't be on this list, see who's there. So starting in the West, we got the starters. Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, SGA, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic. Your reserves, we got Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Karl Anthony Towns. Over there in the East, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum are your starters. Bam Adebayo, Pablo Banchero, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Julius Randle is your reserves. Who got snubbed and didn't? Who got snubbed that should be in this lineup or in the All-Star game?
Well, Sabonis, I think Sabonis was low-key a snub. Don't start with me with Jordan Poole, LOL. But first of all, in what world is Damian Lillard a starter, all-star starter? What the hell is that? What?
I'm not even gonna hold you. We did the vote, and I had Tyrese and Tyrese. In my opinion, I know Tyrese Maxey still made the All-Star team,
He
but I
should
had
be
him
a
as a
starter
starter
over
with Tyrese
Damian
Halliburton.
Lillard.
Yep.
And then you have Julius Randle on the goddamn dang on roster at all. Come on now. Julius Randle, all-star. Velcro hand, all-star.
De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis didn't even get the cut.
Exactly. Brunson also should have been a starter. But as far as the West goes, the West is a harder thing to pull. Because if you put Sabonis on there, who are you taking off? Kawhi? Paul George? Even though Paul George can go, if you ask me, because he's too inconsistent. But you're not going to put AD out over Sabonis. That's definitely not. I think Anthony Davis should have been starting over LeBron. Just like I used to think that Curry should have been a starter as well, but whatever happened, I changed my course of thought. But the whole Damian Lillard being a starter thing is really ticking me off. Cause what?
Start with Cork Miles. If you're not going to start, if you're not going to have Damian Lillard, I would have had Jalen Brunson over Dame start.
Yes. Take Kawhi and put in Sabonis. There you go, saying little stupid stuff just to get people riled up. You're taking Kawhi out and putting Sabonis in?
Can't take Kawhi out.
Are you going to be serious on the guy's internet right now? Quit playing.
Honestly, do Cat not just because he's on the number one seed in the West? Did Karl Anthony Towns should have been an All-Star?
Hell no.
That's just my opinion.
He could have been
Somebody say Gobert got snubbed. Gobert can stay where he at. Y'all know how I feel about Gobert. They want French Fry can stay where he at. He can stay. He can stay. He can stay. I don't know.
We're not gonna go there with Gobert. Nope, not tonight.
No. But Embiid's Embiid's not going to play, so I don't know who's going to start. Could be Bam, or are they going to get another, person to add? So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Embiid, but we all know he's not playing.
He's not playing.
Again, Sabonis got snubbed. Who else? I'm trying to think. Some people was on the list that didn't get in. That's playing well.
I don't want to hear anything about Zion being snubbed.
Oh yeah,
no. I don't want to hear that because I've been hearing some crying about that. I don't want to hear anything about the Pelicans or the Rockets, even though my Lakers are just a few losses away from them. We're not going to get in on that either. Not.
Wemby is playing in the rookie versus the sophomores. So he's in the
Dylan Brooks could have low key been a no.
Nah.
No. I'm
Trae
not even
Young?
gonna fix my face to say it. Huh?
Trey?
No. I don't want to see him in no all-star. Cut his hair off. Then I'll look at him. I'm tired of him and shooting up stupid old shots. Even though they beat the crap out of the Lakers, but still, him and bricking and doing that little stupid ass shimmy. I'm tired of him. No.
Porzingis?
Yes. He should have been
Porzingis? Derek White definitely should have been an all-star.
yes.
Not a starter, but a reserve.
Exactly, Kyle. We don't reward mediocrity. And that mediocre haircut.
They said Trae Young's haircut automatically disqualifies him.
And that's mediocre too.
Derek White, I think, should have been an all-star the way he's been balling this season. Scotty Barnes, maybe. Gobert, you can sit down, Gobert. De'Aaron Fox. The West is tough. The West is tough. Sabonis, Fox. Those are the ones that come to mind. But Gobert, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Gobert.
And no Karl Anthony Towns. No defense.
I don't know if I want Cat there.
No.
Jaylen Brown's a reserve.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's a reserve, so he did make it. I don't know about I just don't know about Cat. I just don't
play no defense. You're selective with your offense. You're too big to be playing as soft as you are. You don't need to.
Didn't you say that they're 27th in the league in offense? How are you the number 1 seed at 27th in the league in offense?
And I have those notes right here. Hold on. They are. Because they pride themselves on defense. Yeah. Because they're 25th in field goals made. They're 30th in field goals attempted. So they're horrible at shooting. Their three-pointers need some work. And they don't rebound the ball very well. So, like I said, like the Timberwolves are literally Anthony Edwards' injury away from disaster. 18th or 19th.
But you're the number 1 seed.
But you're the number 1 seed, though. Because that's Anthony Edwards. And an occasional Karl Anthony Towns showing.
Mr. No-Show, as Coach Dante would call him. If y'all don't know who Mr. No-Show is, that is Karl Anthony Towns, y'all. Just like in the 62-point game, he gets 62 points and lose. How?
Because he got benched in the fourth quarter because he was forcing it and wasn't playing no goddamn defense, being soft. I'm so sick and tired of Karl Anthony Towns. He can go too.
He can go to along Gobert. Gobert has no offensive game whatsoever. None.
Anytime he make a shot, I'm like, wow. Like it's the first time I've seen it in my life.
Him and Ben Simmons can go somewhere. They're like 1 and 2 on my list of when it come down to hating folks. And I don't hate many people, but they're 1 and 2 on my list. Irks my nerves. He irks my nerves so bad. Anthony was complaining about calls on Monday and won the game. He got fined for it.
NBA players are soft. They're always going to complain about calls, even though I wish they shut up.
Warriors need to find a way to get Cat. You would want Cat, Ern, because you're a Warriors fan. But the Warriors do need a big man.
They do need a big, but Cat don't play like a big, so there's that.
The 65 game rule. Your thoughts on that?
I want the players to stop complaining. Because about the rewards if you don't play 65 games. They shouldn't have to put incentives and take stuff away to get y'all to do y'all's job and do what you're supposed to do, which is play. You have a better job than 99.9% of the general population on this goddamn earth, and y'all are complaining about 65 games being the minimal to compete with all-stars and being, well, not all-stars, but the MVP. You have better jobs than all of us. You don't play all the time. It's not a round-the-clock job. But you have a good paying job, and they have to put in incentives to get y'all to play because of load management and resting. No, y'all get paid to play, so y'all need to play and hush.
So how do we know who has a legit injury and who doesn't? That's the thing. You can easily say, "Oh, well, Jury's knee hurts. She's not going to play today." Like, how do we know the legit injuries from not legit injuries? So we don't know. So
like soft tissue stuff, like a bruise. Come on now.
But of course, Joel's not going to be MVP this year. It's too many games. He legit has a knee injury.
That's a legit injury.
That's not his fault. But I'm not making excuses. I'm not making excuses for him either. But he's going to miss out. And it's not just MVP. It's any award. 6-man, most valuable player. It's all the awards. It's not just the MVP.
Exactly. I wish I could load manage my job. And I got 3.
And look, there's the crazy part. And I work from home. There should be no excuses why I take off work. Are you kidding me? I need a middle day. I'm sorry.
I got 3 of them
It's called a middle day.
things. I got 3 jobs. I wish I could load management at all 3 of them.
But we pay no bills that way. We get kicked out the house if we don't,
Man, they got me messed up.
We can't have an MVP playing 50 games in a season. At best, Joel plays about 50. That's about right. About 50 games. Last year he played 68. I was shocked at that. But again, I'm not giving the man excuses. But he needs to do what he does on the regular season and the playoffs. Point blank period. That's all I gotta say about that. And we all know that. Damian Lillard. He said he wouldn't mind going back to Portland. What was the point of leaving? Why?
I promise you, this is gonna be the night that I just go off. Because this one right here. If anybody gets on my goddamn nerve, it's gonna be Damian Lillard. At some point, I want you to shut up. Because what was the point of forcing your way out of Portland and doing I want to go to Miami and da-da-da-da-da and all of that foolishness for you to entertain a return to Portland just a few months ago? I promise you, sometimes the grass ain't greener on the other side, and you are finding out the hard way. Because you're somewhere where you really don't want to be, so now you're just going to sit here and act like this. You done got Adrian Griffin fired because you didn't like him. You and Giannis had a hand in that. You don't play defense worth a goddamn dang on lick. But it's Dame time, though. It's time for you to go to Taiwan and shut the hell up. Go somewhere else. I'm so sick and tired of him running his mouth.
This whole Bucks thing is crazy. Did Adrian Griffin got fired because Giannis didn't like him? He called his brother a bum. I mean, well, he ain't lying. What does Thanasis do on the bench? He's the greatest bench player I've ever seen in my life. He's a hype man.
Exactly what OBJ did this year. Touchdown dance and pom-pom wave and carry somebody's water bottle. Man, shut up. Man. I'm finna get started. Because y'all didn't know my goddamn thing on nerve too.
But what did they do to replace Adrian Griffin? Doc Rivers.
Who looked like a dummy now.
Hasn't won a game. He hasn't won a game. This was bad. This is just bad for the Bucks. Adrian Griffin got fired. Mind y'all, they're number 2 when he got fired. They was the 2nd seed in the East. Best team overall. And you fire a guy. That makes no sense. Dame even admitted that he can't get acclimated to the defense and the offense.
Well, he's never gotten acclimated to defense. He's allergic to it.
This is true. Man don't play a lick of defense. You know what's bad? I might could see the Bucks being a first round exit again, depending on who they playing.
And I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
That's a high paying cheerleader on the sideline. Can I be paid
I want
millions
his
to sit
job
in pom pom? I'll definitely be cheering. Like can I
and get
do
a
it?
technical in 2 seconds. I'll definitely do that because I'm a little feisty myself. So I want the millions of dollars to do that.
I don't know, Bucks. I don't know. I can't do too much talking because my team's in shambles right now. Losing to the
Mine
Nets.
too.
Losing to the Nets. Joel Embiid's hurt. We don't know what they're going to do at the trading deadline. It's just, I got to put my hoodie on and pull it. I got to be like Kenny.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on ham sandwich.
Hey, but y'all beat the Lakers without AD and LeBron against the Boston. That should be a plus.
And before that, we got blown out by the stupid old Hawks. And who else? I'm done with the Lakers. Ham sandwich and his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory ass lineups. And the stupid stuff that we go through. And now that AD has a Achilles injury of some sort, or what type of injury, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Fire him.
All right, y'all. We're going to take one more break. We're going to come back, give y'all our Super Bowl picks and predictions. Y'all stay tuned.
And this is Chris from Coffee and Sports, the morning show over on Sports Empire Network.
And this is Mo. Catch us on Northeast Streaming Sports Production, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 10 a.m.
We hope to see you there. And this
The morning show, Coffee and Sports. Chris and Mo. Find them every day here on the Sports Empire Network, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Also on a sports streaming platform on Roku TV as well. All right, y'all, it's Super Bowl time. Next week is the big game, and then I get depressed because there's no more football. So we got the Chiefs over there representing the AFC, and then we got the San Francisco 49ers in the West. Jury, who do you got in this game?
I'd be a fool to pick against Mahomes, but I feel like I don't think that the 49ers their head coach isn't stupid because he calls the plays. He's going to run the ball. What are the Chiefs' weaknesses? Running the balls at times. So I want to pick the Chiefs. I don't trust their receivers, even though they've done what they've done to the playoffs. But this is when the lights are brightest. I still don't trust them quite yet. I'm going to pick the 49ers, even though I hope I jinx them and Shanahan blows it so we can start looking at him at blowing big games, like the same way we do with whatever they go on in Dallas. And we need to start looking at Harbaugh like that as well.
This is the point favorite. The point spread is only 2.5 for San Fran. 2.5. Don't want to bet on Patrick. I cannot bet on Mahomes. Mahomes has been to 6 AFC championship games, 5 Super Bowls out of the. My God, it's Mahomes. Mahomes is amazing. Then you got Brock Purdy, CMC. Now, the Chiefs, you can run on them. You can run on them. And
Baltimore
Christian
just decided
McCaffrey
not to.
is going to run. I think it's going to come down to a possession. You look at the tight end situation. You got Kelsey, you got Kittles, then you got the wide receivers. That's when San Fran has the Chiefs beat in the receiving part. Running backs, CMC is better. Quarterbacks, you can say Mahomes is better. Secondary, Kansas City's way better in the secondary. This should be, if it's a shootout, I don't think Purdy can shoot out with Mahomes. But I'm gonna say the Niners here. I'm gonna pick the Niners. I think this game should be great. But if Purdy and the 49ers are behind, I don't think they'll come back with Patrick Mahomes. So I need San Fran to go up and early and don't take the foot off if they keep scoring.
They're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to establish the run.
Andy Reid and Shanahan, man.
It's Spagnola.
It's like I want to take San Fran, like, but it's something about Mahomes. I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs. It's going to be a close. I think it's going to come down to Harrison Butker field goal to win this game. Oh my God, man, gang. But it should be a good game.
Don't mention Taylor Swift.
No. She may not even be there. You know why? She has a concert in Hong Kong, and by the time she gets on the plane and come over 12 hours, the Super Bowl might be over. But
I'm
can't
tired
wait
of
to see
Taylor
the commercials. Can't wait to see Usher. You know, it should be a good show, and you know, Usher got hits for days, so it should be good. It should be good. But what's your favorite thing about the Super Bowl real quick before we go? We got 4 minutes. What's your favorite part of the Super Bowl?
Enjoying time with my family, watching the game, explaining the game, because, you know, I'm the football connoisseur of the house. And eating and laughing at the commercials.
Look, man, Super Bowl is all about the commercials and wings and beer. And snacks. Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with that. The parties, you definitely can't go wrong with that. Commercials is the big one that I look for. Hopefully there's some good ones. And they don't leak them early, because I forget what year that was that they leaked them early. Why would you do that?
Was that like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah. It was. It leaked them early. Definitely the halftime show. I'm excited about Usher. We had Rihanna last year. So, I mean, we'll see.
They're getting better.
I don't want the game to be a blowout. Don't come to the big dance and it be a whole blowout like it was with Seattle and Denver that one year.
Oh, yeah, I went to sleep on that before halftime. I'm like, good night.
So let's see if this game could be memorable. Let's see what Shanahan could do against Andy Reid. What's going on, Mo? Definitely, it should be interesting. Somebody say bring back the Clydesdale horses. They do show them sometime with Budweiser. Usher should.
Damien, shut up.
Here we go.
Here we go with this foolishness. Shut up. What is wrong with Usher? Did y'all not grow up with Usher in y'all's household? Are y'all unseasoned?
No, Carolina and Denver, that was another bad game too.
That was a bad game too.
All Cam had to do was hop on the ball. He just sat there and let it. All he had to do was jump on it. But no, it was Seattle and Denver. Wasn't it like 38-8 or something? I know that. I know that was bad. Horrible.
That was bad.
Carolina and Denver was bad too. You know what game was boring too? The Rams in New England, 13-10. That game was horrible. That was the last game with Tom Brady as a Patriot. That was horrible.
No, it wasn't. His last game as a Patriot was versus the Titans in the playoffs.
Oh, that's right. He didn't win the Super Bowl. You're right. I'm talking that was his last Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Pitbull got songs with Usher. I think. So, but where is that?
Yo, man, sorry you coming in. But before we go off on the tangent, we got to get on out of here. Again, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all joining in as always. Again, we are on the Sports Empire Network, so make sure y'all check us out here every Saturday at 5. Sometimes it might switch, but we always let y'all know. But appreciate y'all for being here. On that note, love, peace, and hair grease. Y'all enjoy the rest of the evening. We're going to get on out of here. Peace.
I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about the team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboys fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face.
Oh, I'm from Brooklyn.
Hey, you guys any